I've been trying to avoid buying specific brands of microphones for review. Generally speaking, it's the Amazon brands that I've been avoiding the most. You know, the Mayonos of this world, if you will. And I kind of lumped Fifine, or Fifine, or however you say it, into the same category because I never really saw them anywhere else. But I have noticed them popping up in Best Buy and such. So, you know what? Why not? I saw they had a new XLR USB combo mic, so let's do it. Now, for this video, I am in XLR mode for most of it. The reasoning on that is coming up. But for now, let's just get into the build quality. Now, my first thought when I picked it up was that it felt cheap, and I'm going to blame most of that on the weight. It is super light. It shouldn't mean anything, and on closer inspection, it's fine. The shock mount is hard mounted to the mic, so this is literally the presentation of it. Mostly a metal body with the inner ring of the shock mount in the clip being the only real exceptions. Now, the rear of the mic looks like this with all the usual USB offerings. The USB plug is a touch loose, and it did crackle once or twice when I moved it, so a bit of a heads up there. Also, the volume knob is fine, but on my mic, the headphone knob is super tight and does not like to move, whereas the gain knob moves easily and is fine. Kind of worried about quality control if this is the standard with this mic company. Also, I should note the nose for this mic feels fantastic. I have no idea what the material is and no idea how transparent it is, but damn, is it nice and soft. Also, if you look under the hood, there's an obvious nod to the SM7B here, but that capsule is so much closer on this over the 7B. All right, let's do specs. And this is a little weird because most of the specs are referring to the USB preamp, but let's muddle through. This is what we got. This mic is a dynamic cardioid. It has a frequency response of 70 Hz to 15 kHz, a max SPL of 130 dB, a signal to noise ratio of what they say is greater than 75 dB. And if you do plan on using it for USB, it is 16-bit and 44.1 or 48. And the one that really confused me is the sensitivity. It's listed as neg 58 plus 3 dB. I have no idea. Now let's take a look at the off-axis rejection of the Fifine K688. This is me speaking about 3 inches off the front of the capsule. Now I'm about 3 inches off the side of the capsule. And now I'm speaking directly into the rear of the microphone. Now for a plosive rejection test of the Fifine K688. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now for the proximity effect test of the Fifine K688. This is me speaking about 3 inches off the front of the capsule. Now I'm directly in front of the capsule. 3 inches in front of. Now for the handling noise test of this microphone, the Fifine K688. I swear I'll get it soon. Okay, now we have the Fifine K688 up against the Shure SM58. And we only have a couple microphones that I really want to go through here. The Shure is the standard. It's the baseline. It's the one that I think other companies really need to try to aim for if you're going for quality of sound. And this is what it sounds like when I go between the two of them. Which one do you like? Now we have the Fifine K688 up against the SE DCM3. This is a relatively new microphone on the market from SE, and one that I actually can recommend if you want a microphone kind of in the broadcast style that does actually meet expectations when compared to the SM58. And what do you think as I go between these two microphones? This being the Fifine, this being the SE DCM3. Now we have the Fifine K688 up against the SE DYNACASTER. Cheaper than the SM7B, but this also has some settings on the back. You've got roll-offs and you've got a high shelf on this microphone as well. So as I go between the two of them, which one do you like? Now we have the Fifine K688 up against the Shure SM7B. And this is the difference as I go between them. Which one do you like? This one being the $100, I think, give or take. And this one being the $400, I think. It's been a while since I bought an SM7B. Which one do you like as I go between them? And now we get into why I'm not reviewing the USB portion of this microphone. This is the USB connection. it sounds like this. And yep, that's exactly what it sounds like when your sample rates aren't matched. And it doesn't matter what I do. I changed sample rates between 44.1, 48 kilohertz. I played around with the bit depth. It didn't matter. Nothing worked. I can't tell if it's an issue with the converters or the preamps, but nothing I do fixes it. Now, the big problem here, and one of the reasons I avoid mics of this class, is because there's really no fix here aside from returning it and getting another one. And for me, that's a problem. There is no contact for technical difficulties. When you go to their website and try to troubleshoot, you just get sent to an FAQ page that doesn't even have this new microphone on there. I mean, I got nothing. And the worst part is, for USB mics, they're supposed to just be plug and play. When you plug them in, they force your system to the settings that allow the mic to work automatically. This microphone just does not work as a USB. And that alone makes me not want to recommend this microphone. And I'm not going to lie, I'm super disappointed by that because I actually kind of like the sound of this mic. It's a bit muddy in the low mids, though nothing a small EQ won't fix. It actually stood up to a lot of the mics I put it up against, and it even had a similar profile to the SM7B. But here's the biggest problem. The issue this mic has is one of two things. First, it's either defective or incapable of working with something in my setup. Second, I'm the problem, and I'm just too much of an idiot to fix it. Now, if it is the first problem, that's a major issue since my laptop is basically basic. Nothing special other than Windows 11. But again, this is a brand new mic, not an older model, so that's highly doubtful. Most likely it is defective, and I'm not willing to put this review off to figure it out. If it is the second issue, well, that's an even bigger problem for Fifine, considering I'm one of the best case scenarios for troubleshooting a simple USB microphone. So if this is somehow over my head, I feel bad for anyone else that gets this mic and has the same issues. For a company with as much stock as they have, they need a better troubleshooting system. Honestly, I'm super disappointed with the turnout here. Quite possibly one of the better sounding XLR USB mics I have used. By the way, if Fifine is watching this and you want me to redo my review, hit me up. My email is on my About tab. Otherwise, I'm sending it back. By the way, if you did come here looking for a great USB mic, one that I can actually recommend, check out the new Rode gaming mics. They're pretty sweet.